So let's begin here with exploration and discovery.
What chapter is this?
Chapter 19.
Learn about Marco Polo again.
Yes.
What did you say? Yeah, she's like special. Like needs. Marco Polo.
I feel like we should play the game, Marco Polo. Yep. It's chapter 19.
Chapter off with a bang.
Chapter 19. Yep. So we're going to begin here talking about some of the elements here for why people went out and discovered new things. Wouldn't it have been easier just to sit at home? Do nothing?
That's something I would do.
Yeah. How many of you over break, that was your number one goal, is sit at home, do nothing?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't touch my backpack.
Okay.
You know what I did?
Now-
I worked all break, Mr. Jones. I have a job.
Good, good. I'm glad that you were motivated. I'm glad that you had something to do. Now, getting refocused here, thinking about the context of these that are going out and to explore new parts of the world. Why would they want to go out and to explore new areas? Chance?
To explore.
Yeah.
For riches.
Okay, for wealth, that's one thing. Why is wealth, let's park on that for just a moment, why is wealth going to be something that is so important to people that are living in Europe? Justin?
Because they want power.
Okay, well, yeah, they do want power, but does wealth automatically bring power?
Yes. Doesn't the
Okay.
Industrial Revolution happen?
Not yet. That'll come late. That will come as a result of some of this later down the road. We're starting to go too far ahead here rather than just focusing on the wealth. Why are people so motivated for wealth? Power may be part of it.
Because money buys you armies, and armies get you land.
Okay, so you have to have money to pay for armies, and those armies will help you get more land. What was the main commodity or the main source of wealth back in the Middle Ages?
Land.
No, it was land, yeah. So the more land that you had, the more power, more influence that you had. We talked about this at the end of the semester when we were coming through the Renaissance, the Reformation period, that people were no longer desiring land quite as much. They were now desiring coined money. They were looking for precious metals because those precious metals were becoming something that people wanted. So if those landowners living in the castle wanted those precious metals and you had some, you might be able to exchange the precious metal like gold or silver for some of their land. And this is part of what motivated people to go out and to explore and discover new things. So why else would people want to go out and to leave the comfort of their homes? Chance? Curiosity, yeah. What else is out there? Why? Yeah, I thought the earth was flat, so aren't we going to fall off the edge of the earth? Maybe. Maybe. So let me ask you this. How many of you would be interested in putting your name on a waiting list for a trip to Mars?
No. Heck yeah.
Okay.
That'd be the best thing ever.
Yeah, for real. I just seen that. I don't want to die.
Now,
That's
I don't know how long the wait list is, but I did read over the break that you can put your name on a waiting list or on a potential candidate list. I guess that's maybe a better way to put it. A candidate list
How much money does it cost?
to go to Mars. I think it's under $100. I don't think it's very much.
No, it has to be in the billions.
No, that's you're not paying your way. You're putting your name on a candidate list to go to Mars. Which means that you are volunteering for research purposes.
It's like a down payment.
No, it's not even a down payment. Like, you are not paying your own way. You are volunteering for these research companies.
Because they don't want to pay a lot.
You would be a human being going on an experimental trip to Mars. There's no guarantee you'd come home.
Oh, dang.
So this is not like vacation. This is like, I might be willing to be a civilian or be trained to go up to Mars and come back.
Wait. You get to die going to Mars. Samples or you pay or just go there?
to like see if it's physically possible to go and come back. Yeah.
Is it true that it takes 10 years to get there?
I don't know.
Because that would be
I don't know.
Dang.
Now, here's why I bring that up. We think about going to Mars. Justin?
Sorry, I was drinking water in outer space.
We think about going to Mars in a similar way that many people thought about going to explore parts of the world that they had not yet been to. That some people were really excited about it. They thought this would be a great new thing. Other people were afraid of it, where there was no guarantee that they would be coming home. Other people knew that it cost a lot of money, and so money was the only way that they were going to have an opportunity to do that. And so there was that sense of excitement and adventure. Well, maybe we'll find something new. Same reason why people want to go to Mars or want to explore certain depths of the ocean that we've never explored yet. It's because there's that pursuit of discovery, something that nobody else has been a part of before. And there's part of that that is ingrained within us, the way God created us, to help us to continue to search after Him. And as we try to search our surroundings and we're trying to find out what is physically around us, hopefully we will also see God's handiwork as we are searching for those things. And God built that into us to help us come to realization of who He is. So there are a number of motives here for their exploration of why people went out. I've got 6 different things here listed that would be important for us to remember. First one is Marco Polo. That was a motive, yeah. Why is Marco Polo a motive for people to go out and to explore?
He was famous.
He was famous for what?
Exploration.
Exploration. Silk, okay. Where did he explore? Let's go back there. Where did he explore? He explored Asia. And do you remember whose court or whose kingdom he was a part of? Mm-mm. No, I'm over in Asia. Remember, he traveled to Asia. He spent, 15 years in Asia?
17.
Is it 17? Okay. Do you remember what country or what?
China.
It was a Mongolian in China, when the Mongols were in China, and he was with, I think it was Kublai Khan. It was one of the Khans, but I don't remember which one off the top of my head. It was one of the Khans, but it was the Mongols when they were in China. And so he explores, he stays there, he learns their culture, and he comes back, and what happens when he returns?
Everybody thinks he's crazy.
Everybody thinks he's crazy. He writes a book, or he publishes his notes, and after he dies, everybody reads it, and they're just absolutely excited about everything that he's read about, or everything he's written about.
Hey, if you think this guy's a whack job, why do you want to follow him? Because by the time you die,
Why did people follow Martin Luther?
nobody ever remembers the weird or the bad.
For some reason, his stories caught on more after he died than while he was still alive.
He's like an artist, you know what I'm saying? Artists get
Yeah.
paintings sold after they die and make a lot of money with that.
Yeah. So another reason why people begin to get excited and they're motivated to get up and explore is because there's new trade routes going to the east.
That way.
Far east. So they're going here. My battery's really low. I got to charge that up. They're going here from Europe, moving farther east. That's where Marco Polo had gone. And there are new trade routes that makes it easier, more affordable, quicker for you to go east and then get back home. We mentioned this earlier. The quest for wealth, specifically gold, is the number one thing that people are pursuing in this era. The other things are fine, but gold is what everybody wants. It's the most valuable and the most desired. That was Ponce de Leon.
Did he find it?
Did he find the Fountain of Youth? Well,
Yeah, it is.
since he died, I don't think he did. He thought it was in Florida. He spent a lot of time searching Florida, searching for the Fountain of Youth.
What was his
I bet you it's probably
probably in the rainforest. Probably in the tropical rainforest. Somewhere.
I don't know why he thought he could find it.
Wait, how did you even know about it?
That's what Chance was asking. I don't know where it originated from.
You stole it from me. That's mine. I'm sorry, Rochelle's stealing my catchphrases.
Hmm.
Like big boy.
It's okay, big boy.
I hate you guys.
Number 5 is religion. So, for 100 brownie points today, what specific religion is sending people out?
Mongol.
Catholicism, 100 brownie points there. I've got another 100 brownie points in my pocket for the person who can tell me, other than Rebecca, since she already answered, what specific group within the Catholic Church is doing. Aaron? No?
We're Catholic.
No?
Puritans.
Who?
Missionary.
Jesuits. You got it. There you go. 100 brownie points for you. The Jesuits are the ones that are sending out the religious missionaries. Why?
Because they want to explore and expand their religion.
No.
They don't want money. They're all about religion. That's their entire life. They want to
Okay.
expand it.
Okay, so they want to decrease the opposition to the Catholic Church, and how do they intend to do that? By sending missionaries on these exploratory journeys. Yeah. So they're trying to convert some of the natives. They're trying to, as they send people on board these ships, when they arrive in these new lands, they are trying to convert them. So they set up churches right away. They set up schools. That way they can educate the young children in the doctrines of Catholicism. So religion was another major motivation for discovery. And competition drove this as well. Like the competition between the Americans and the Canadians.
Oh.
Winter Olympics are about ready to start up. Yeah. Okay.
Go America.
Big time Olympics. Yeah. Anybody cheering on the Russians or the generic team? Sorry.
That's a big
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, Russia got disqualified, so they can compete, but they can't wear their flag colors, and they can't win any medals.
Because
They were using steroids. Yeah. Shouldn't say steroids, but yeah. So Olympics are coming up. Major competition. So there's competition for who can win the most medals, who can get that gold medal. Competition existed even here between these nations. France, England, Spain, Portugal, Italy.
brownie points.
Well, you didn't give me a chance to ask the question first. All of these countries are the leading nations that are exploring, and they're all competing for the same gold medal. Although instead of it being a gold medal, it is the raw gold that you're going to find in the ground, and they're all searching for it.
It's gold.
Yep.
The gold color.
So it says that Greek historian Herodotus wrote of a magical spring,
Okay.
and that's where he got it from. But it also says like that until later it wasn't connected that it was Ponce de Leon or whoever was searching for it. They didn't connect him being the one searching for it till like later on in history.
Okay.
But at first it was because like they didn't have like a bunch of records since there wasn't enough people.
Well,
Or so I don't know.
Yeah.
They didn't connect it till later on.
but I can see where Ponce de Leon would have gotten that idea from Herodotus because of the rebirth in the Renaissance of the Greek literature. And if he would have read some of that through the Renaissance, then he might have gotten that idea. Yeah, good research. Okay, so these countries are the leading exploring countries. Portugal, Spain, England. Those are the three big ones. I mentioned a few other side ones. France is a little bit. I would definitely do the top three. Portugal, Spain, and England. Those are the top three. Portugal, Spain, England. No. Yeah, they exist. Not like we think of them with the same borders they have, but the Russian people do exist, yes.
Wait, at this point, aren't they like colonies of England?
Who? No.
Not Russia, Canada.
Canada does not exist yet. All right, we're about to get to that point. Right now, where we are here, at this point in the slides, Columbus has not yet discovered the New World. So we're going to get to that point here shortly. A couple things that make exploration much easier for them. Maps become much more accurate and reliable.
Avenue to Jones Boulevard.
What?
He's reading off my slide. Yeah.
Wait, that's a real place?
I don't know. I would assume so since it's pulled off of GPS, but
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. So because maps are more reliable, now people are willing to go out and to explore areas that they can be certain they know where they are. You ever gotten in a place where your map has led you astray and you've gotten lost?
No.
No, that
Like-
was me because I didn't know how to read it.
Like really lost. I'm not saying like, you kind of sort of know where you are, but like you're not sure you're ever going to make it back alive.
I have.
You have?
My
No.
mom went into,
I walked out of my house and I didn't know where I was. So
Really?
because I was in the house.
So I had an experience when I was in middle school where we went out on a camping trip. Our youth leader decided to take us out, let us go camping in these tents and everything. And this was before any of us had cell phones, and GPS, I'm not sure it even was really affordable or around at that point. And we decided that we were going to go out exploring in the middle of the night. We snuck out of our tents, and we decided that we were going to use our flashlights, and we were smart enough and directionally savvy enough that we'd be able to make it back. Turns out we were more directionally challenged. We ended up getting ourselves lost. We went down by a river, and we knew as long as we stayed near the river, we could get ourselves back. We crossed the river, which that was a whole bad decision in and of itself. As we were crossing the river, I was tall enough that I was able to make it across and still touch the bottom most of the way across. It was not a very big or deep river, but had a strong undercurrent. And a couple of people in our group were not tall enough, and they got swept down the river. And so we see them start getting swept down the river, and we get across the other side and start chasing, running down after them, till eventually they were able to make their way over far enough to the other side, and they were able to get to safety. Well, at that point, we had no idea how far down the river we had gone. We didn't know. I mean, it was still dark. It was starting to get to twilight, the sunrise, and so light was starting to come up, but we didn't really know where to head back across the river and then find our campsite. We ended up running into a small little cabin complex of a few people that were there, and were able to, they asked if we were lost, and we said, yeah, we are. And they were able to call the other campsite or campground. Yeah, I really was not sure we were ever going to make it because we had no idea where we were.
You know what you should just start a little fire and just lived out there.
Oh, Justin.
Thank you for the suggestion. So having a map would have greatly helped us. Even doing something as simple as marking the trees that we came through would have helped. I have learned that now. I now understand that that's much better.
Not marking.
Yeah. A few new instruments that they now have access to is the compass.
I have a compass.
Do you know how to use it?
No.
That is key, knowing how to use it. So now you can follow a definite course using a compass. You can stay on course, and that compass will help you figure out which direction you are headed, or if you change off course a little bit. Astrolabe. An astrolabe. Yeah, astrolabe is going to help you to measure the angle of a star to the horizon. So you're using the stars to help you navigate and determine, once again, your direction, your position on the globe. So this allowed for sailors who are out on the sea to be able to continue to navigate at night. Yes, yes, but this is the actual tool for that. Because see, one of the weaknesses for many of these explorers is that most of them did not want to ever go far enough away from the sight of land. Because as soon as you get away from being able to see the land, you now can get turned around, especially with the ocean currents, the winds. You can get yourself going in the wrong direction very easily. So most of the captains, they would keep themselves within eyesight of land. And so if you all are the land, I'm going to stay here and I'm going to continue to move down the coastline. I'm never going to get far enough away where I cannot see land. Because as soon as I do, I may get turned around. I'm headed this direction. I think I'm going that direction, and I get totally lost. You don't. That's the point, is that you don't explore that way. And that's why now having these tools allows for them to have more freedom to move away from the edge of the continent where they can go explore some of the territories or parts of the ocean they've never been explored.
Did Columbus not have one of those? Is that why he thought we were India?
No, he did. We're going to talk about Columbus another time. He miscalculated, his math was wrong, and he miscalculated the size of the earth. So once again, a little plug for doing your math right and making sure that you do your homework. But he didn't do it right. That's the problem. Had he done it right, he would have known how big the globe was, and he would not have mistakenly thought that he landed somewhere else.
Some globes are only like a foot long.
But I mean, also, it was kind of a good idea to, like, I mean, going the other way to Jesus.
Yeah, we'll talk about him as we get there. So, am I interrupting something?
I was just trying to tell her to pay attention to you.
Okay, let's focus. Yeah, thank you. When we look at the vessels that they're actually using, they're going to make dramatic improvements in the sails that they use. Sails were not new. That was not a brand new technology. However, they modified them to make them more efficient, and they now used a mixture of both triangular sails and square sails. So each of these different sails had different purposes. The triangular would help them with their steering, and the square sails would help them with their power. This gave them the power to be able to cross over the large waves of the ocean, but still have the agility to be able to steer in the narrow waterways when they get to smaller rivers. So that was really important advancement of technology. The Caravel was the primary ship used during the Age of Exploration. As you can see by this drawing down here, there's a mixture of rectangular and triangular shaped sails. This is a lighter ship, was not as heavy as some of the previous ships that had been used. So it had the ability to withstand some of the major waves that you'll see in the ocean, but also be able to navigate in those smaller rivers once they get over to the new continent.